hit by the worst flooding here since 1977.
Power is out to tens of thousands of people. The Biden administration's just announced it's buying a new round of COVID booster shots to target subvariants. White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
This is the second such order that the government has placed, and it's smaller than the first. Last month, the administration announced it would purchase more than 100 million doses of a Pfizer booster that specifically protects against could be effective on the BA4 and BA5 variants. Today, the government says it will also buy 66 million doses of a version made by Moderna. Both are expected to be delivered in the fall.
Health officials in San Francisco are calling the monkeypox outbreak there a public health emergency. There are now just over 400 cases in the Bay Area, and Santa Clara County is waiting on about 700 doses of vaccine. Health Commissioner Dr. Grant Colfax.
This is not as widespread as COVID. It's not as transmissible as COVID, but we need to ensure that people are taking this seriously.
The city will have 4,200 shots to distribute on Monday. It's asked for 35,000. Just who shelled a prison, possibly killing dozens of Ukrainian POWs? Russia and Ukraine are accusing each other. CBS's Cami McCormick.
The Ukrainian prisoners were captured after the fall of Mariupol in May. Russia says Ukraine's military used U.S.-supplied rocket launchers to strike the prison in the separatist east. Ukraine denies that, and its foreign minister says it's another war crime by Russia. Ukraine accuses Moscow of shelling the prison to cover up the alleged torture and execution of Ukrainians there.
As inflation and interest rates rose, U.S. consumers spent more last month. Commerce Department puts the increase at 1.1%. Worker pay and benefits up second quarter. A lot of Americans are counting out all those Benjamins in tonight's $1.1 billion Mega Millions jackpot.
I'll donate to different organizations. Move out the country. First thing I do is probably get one of them Lamborghinis.
S&P futures up 20. This is CBS News.
500,000 businesses connect using Zoom for communication and collaboration around the globe. Zoom, how the world connects.
In this election, look to the name you can trust for state representative, Bill G. Schuette. Working as a defense intelligence agency, Schuette joined the fight against terrorist and drug cartels. Now Bill G. Schuette is prepared to move mid-Michigan forward. He will fight Biden inflation and put money back in your wallet by cutting the income tax. Schuette backs the blue and will support our law enforcement. Schuette will fight to ensure parents have a seat at the table in their children's education. Voting should be honest and easy, which is why Bill G. Schuette supports common sense photo ID requirements for elections. On August 2nd, vote for the conservative Republican you can trust. Schuette.
I'm Bill G. Schuette, and this ad was paid for by Bill G. Schuette for state representative. I've briefed generals. I can stand up to Democrats in Lansing.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, 1-800-478-6688. That's 1-800-478-6688. Or go to selectquote.com. 1-800-478-6688. That's 1-800-478-6688.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. USGW News.
It's 68 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Maurer. The Michigan League for Public Policy has released this year's Kids Count data profiles, which measure issues relating to the well-being of children in Michigan. Over the last decade, the report shows an improvement in several areas, including a decline in child poverty, fewer teen births, and fewer children placed in out-of-home care. The state didn't fare so well in other areas. Prenatal care declined and preschool enrollment hasn't changed significantly over the last 10 years. This year's data and more can be found at mlpp.org. Save the Children is continuing its tour tomorrow in Bay City from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., partnering with Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Great Lakes Bay region and SC Johnson. The event will provide free backpacks filled with school supplies for the upcoming school year to all children who attend the event. The campaign aims to give children a fun way to keep reading and learning over the summer. There'll be 6 activity tents featuring games and prizes from SC Johnson, Nickelodeon, TJ Maxx, and more. The event will be held at the southwest corner of Veterans Memorial Park in Bay City, adjacent to the Labadee Rib Fest event. Free parking is available along JFK Drive. All are welcome regardless of age or residence. This Saturday is recognized as World Day Against Trafficking in Persons. Human trafficking involves labor obtained through force, fraud, or coercion. It often involves sexual exploitation or other types of forced involuntary servitude. While about half its victims come from at-risk homes, State Representative Annette Glenn says human trafficking is a crime, victimizing people from all socioeconomic backgrounds.
Human trafficking often happens in secret, and it can happen virtually anywhere to virtually anyone. As a mother and grandmother, that's deeply troubling to me. It's also why combating human trafficking has become one of the Michigan legislature.
Glenn's track record of support for survivors of human trafficking includes reforms approved by the legislature in 2020. The change in law protects survivors through an address confidentiality program, making it more difficult for offenders to track down their victims. WSGW News Time, 9:07.
Sound Asleep Lab is the only private accredited sleep lab in mid-Michigan owned and operated by a physician. We do home and in the lab sleep studies. If you're waiting months for an appointment, we can see you within 1 to 2 weeks. You may consider doing a cost comparison before your next sleep study. Our charge is less than 50%. No worries of having to go into the hospital with 4 convenient locations in Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, and Mount Pleasant. Please discuss or call 989-792-2792 for an appointment. 792-2792 or check us out at soundasleeplab.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Bearded Axe in Saginaw. You are going to get a party room for 3 hours and 2 hours of axe throwing for half off. Bearded Axe Party Room adult package is great for bachelor or bachelorette parties, a night out with friends, and so much more. Located at 4375 Bay Road in Saginaw. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
WSGW News Time, 9:08. Sad news in Clare County after a mounted deputy has died after sustaining a serious head injury earlier this week in Clinton County. Deputy Nicole Schaff was responding to a medical call Monday night when she was thrown from her horse. A 35-year-old man is hospitalized after falling off a cliff on Grand Island in the Hiawatha National Forest in Munising on Wednesday. A group riding bikes reportedly went off the trail at a remote section of the island, and the man walked to the edge of a cliff and slipped on a wet root and fell some 70 feet into Lake Superior. He was helped out of the lake by other visitors in Marquette. He was last reported in stable condition. Cadets from the Mount Pleasant Police Department's 21st Youth Police Academy recently celebrated their graduation with their law enforcement mentors, family, and friends. The Youth Police Academy is a free program which offers 6th to 8th grade students an up-close view of the skills and necessary training needed for law enforcement officials. For the past 3 weeks, the cadets learned what it takes to become a law enforcement official, including integrity, trust, leadership, compassion, and the ability to quickly assess a situation, plus the rigorous physical requirements of the job. By completing a series of hands-on training sessions, cadets learned how much knowledge and fitness a police officer must possess to perform their job. Those in attendance enjoyed comments from Academy leader Officer Joshua Thiessen and retired educator and coach Denny LaFleur, who served as a keynote speaker. As a recent interest rate by the Federal Reserve affected those looking to buy a new home or to refinance their current home, MNN's Tony Ortiz has more about that.
The short answer is no, not yet. That's according to Hall Financial Foundation. who says he can see the Federal Reserve hiking interest rates yet again before the end of the year.
As inflation continues to, get into all of our lives in terms of how much we have to pay for everything, I think that the Fed is going to continue to raise rates. I think that they may not do it as an aggressive stance as they have the last two times, but certainly as they continue to raise rates, it's going to put more pressure on a recession, which could signal mortgage interest rates possibly going down a little bit.
Historically, the numbers back up Hall. During the last recession from December of 2007 until June of 2009, home interest rates dropped from 6.1% to 5.42%. For the Michigan Ortiz.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 989-752-0790. It's 9/11. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Mostly sunny for today. Highs will top out near 79 degrees. Winds westerly 5 to 15 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Tonight, mostly clear skies and diminishing winds. Lows drop to 57. Saturday, lots more sunshine. Highs warm into the lower 80s. Winds west around 5 miles per hour. Saturday night, mostly clear skies, light winds. Lows fall. Sunday, sunshine remains in the forecast. Highs reach 88, and then lows make it down to 65 on Sunday night. I'm meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, it's 66.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, Ernie Krygier from Ernie Krygier Appliance Service and Parts will be joining us to help us fix our major appliances. If you have any questions, save them up for Ernie. At 11 o'clock on Focus, Members First Credit Union. But meantime, here during the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to start out talking about a couple of local millage requests on the ballot in a particular township. What we talk about will, of course, pertain to this particular township, but remember that there are other ballot questions in other areas. And when you go to the polls next week, or if you're doing your ballot by absentee, and even if you don't want to vote for candidates because you have to declare which side you're going to vote on, do go down to the nonpartisan ballot and the issues ballot and make sure you vote for those or however you feel about them. We're going to learn about a couple of public safety millages in Thomas Township this morning. And to help us understand it, a couple of folks with us who have the responsibility of running the departments. First of all, the chief of the Saginaw Township Fire Department. We say good morning to Chief Michael Cousins. Chief, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. How are you this morning?
We're doing well. Thanks for joining us. And also with us this morning, the chief of the Saginaw Township Police Department. We say good morning to Chief Al Fong. Chief, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Just a little correction there. Thomas Township Police Department, not Saginaw Township.
Oh, did I say Saginaw Township? Oh, bite my tongue.
Yes.
Bite my tongue. Sorry about that. See, now that means I'm in trouble, folks, because I live in Thomas Township, and now I'm in deep trouble. Well, the previous chief, Steve Kosis, wondered who was going to mind me when he was gone. You're it.
I am.
All right, guys, on a serious note, though, here in Thomas Township, there are not one but a couple of public safety millages. One is public safety millage for personnel, if you will, and the other is an apparatus millage renewal. So let's start with those. Let's talk about the public safety millage vote, what it is and how it impacts each of your departments. Mike, you want to go first?
Certainly. So with the fire department millage, we'll talk, you said, about the apparatus renewal in a little bit. So on the operations side of this, what this millage will do for us is we will be allowed to hire 2 more full-time people. Our department, like the far majority in Saginaw County, rely on paid-on-call / volunteer firefighters. And I think everybody knows that the volunteerism in our country is on a downward spiral. That goes everything from church activities that rely on volunteerism to school groups, to civic groups, anything that relies on that volunteerism. The people willing to do that are becoming pretty scarce. That's no different than the fire, specifically here in Thomas Township. The problem is, if we don't have volunteerism, we're running emergency responses, and we need to have people to run these calls to service our customers, all of our residents that are having a bad day. They don't call us when it's a good day. So when we're responded, we call to them. We need to make sure we have people there to go. And so by having 2 full-time people additional on our forces, we will be supplemented with our on-call people. But this would be daytime coverage. In the daytime, our people are working. If people recall, the difference between a paid-on-call department, volunteer, and a career department is all of our area pager, they have all normal jobs. So typically your 8 to 5 job, they're doing that. So the lion's share of them are off, not available for us. They're doing their duties, their work. When they come home at night, they have a pager on. When there's a call, then they leave what they're doing, whether it's the dinner table, an event with the family, and they're coming to help a resident that's having a bad day. Where the career departments, they're there all the time. That's their full-time job. In the daytime, a lot of our people are gone. So we are needing help with coverage. What we're hoping to get out of this millage is with the passing, we hired 2 more people. With the 2 that we currently have, we are looking to be able to provide 7 days a week coverage, 365 days of daytime coverage. So we would at least have somebody here in Thomas Township to be able to. That's really the core of what we're
Chief,
after.
Explain to the medical side of this, because you do respond to medical calls, don't you?
We do, and that can fluctuate month to month, but we're typically 65 to 70% of our monthly call volume are all medical calls. In the last 10 years, we've had close to a 48% increase in our call volume, in particular the medical side of things. So that's one thing that's at stake with this, that if things don't go, aren't passed. But with the medical responses, we're first responders. What the goal is somebody has a medical emergency, we get out on scene and can start that initial care before the ambulance arrives to be able to help our residents. And go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish up.
There's plenty of examples in our community that I think that they have really appreciated that first response care that gets people. They're all local, so the farthest distance they're coming from is right here in Thomas Township. So I think that our residents have definitely appreciated that over the years.
And unlike volunteers at churches and nonprofits and things of that nature, volunteer and paid-on-call firefighters have to complete a certain amount of training, don't they?
They do. So this is an interesting fact that I think a fair amount of people don't really understand is the requirements for a career firefighter. That's my full-time job. That's all I do. The requirements for that and the volunteer is the exact same thing. The rules and regulations we're required to follow, the MIOSHA laws, the NFPA laws, everything that we are subject to does not differentiate between a career firefighter and a volunteer.
Yeah.
And sometimes I will hear volunteer firefighters, well, the volunteer firefighters are what's holding us up. I mean, they are all over the place. There's more nationwide. There's more volunteer firefighters than there are career firefighters nationwide. And, but yes, the requirements are the exact same. Yeah. No difference.
All right. Chief Cousin, Chief Fong, hang on. Chief Fong will come back after the break and talk about the police department part of this public safety millage vote in Thomas Township. And there is also an apparatus millage, which we will talk about too. All of that is ahead here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. You know, a 401k could be an important asset for many American retirements. You make contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years, even decades. Its tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly to you if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers. Little known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today by calling 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered throughout the Great Lakes by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
Tudor Dixon. Working in the steel industry, she saw the results of Governor Whitmer's policies. Businesses closed, jobs lost, families moving away. Biden's policies aren't helping either. Gas prices and inflation. Dixon will stand strong against policies that hurt Michigan and government overreach. A businesswoman, a mother, a breast cancer survivor. Fighting for Michigan, not working for Washington. Tudor Dixon for governor.
Paid for by Americans for Prosperity. Not authorized by any candidate. AmericansForProsperity.org.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Rose again last month to the highest level since January of 1982. The PCE inflation index rose 1% in June. The core reading, excluding food and energy, was up 0.6%. And for the year ending in June, it was up 6.8%, excluding food and energy. The core PCE up 4.8%. Also, incomes rose 0.6% in June, but spending increased 1.1%. Higher oil prices helped Chevron and ExxonMobil to record earnings in the recent quarter, but Procter & Gamble's quarter was slightly weaker than forecast. Are looking at encouraging signs in Apple and Amazon's quarters. Those stocks are higher. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide.
800-328-9696. That's 800-328-9696.
Inflation in Michigan and the Midwest, highest in the nation. Annette Glenn is running for state senate to fight for new jobs, energy independence, to cut fuel costs, cut taxes, and drug costs. Annette Glenn, fighting for us. Paid for by Annette Glenn for state senate.
Get money back with every gallon of gas you buy with the free Upside app. Just download the free Upside app, buy gas like normal, and earn serious cash back, no strings attached. From there, it's easy to transfer your cash to your bank account, PayPal, or even an e-gift card. Upside users have earned back over $200 million. Free Upside app and use code GAS60 for an extra 25 cents a gallon in your first tank. That's code GAS60 for an extra 25 cents a gallon on your first tank. Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Country Legends, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Singer-songwriter Reese Palmer admits it's not easy being a woman of color in the country music world, but she does not regret her career choice.
I knew in the very beginning that there weren't a lot of people that looked like me, and I knew that that was going to be a mountain that I was going to have to climb. But I love the songwriting, I love the storytelling.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need. No parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A little flare down the left field line. It's going to drop for a base hit. Castro around third. He will score. Miguel, big turn at second. He'll hold. Jamer Candelario delivers again.
The Tigers play 6:45 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and we're talking to Thomas Township Fire Chief Michael Cousins and Thomas Township Police Chief Al Fong about an upcoming public safety millage vote next Tuesday. So, Chief Fong, let's talk about the police department and what you get out of this millage.
When the millage passes, then we get to hire 2 additional officers to join the force, bring us up to a total of 10. And what that means is that one officer will be a uniformed investigator, and they'll be able to do more in-depth investigations. For example, with the rise in senior scams, they'll be able to go to work on it more than what a regular patrol officer can do. Consult the prosecutor, get search warrants, take leads where it leads to. It could be out of the Thomas Township. It could be out of the county, but they'll be able to do that instead of having the road officer do it and taking them off the road and not be able to respond to 911 calls.
And I'm going to assume, Al, that 911 calls take priority, which means investigators don't have a lot of time to investigate if they're on the road.
That's correct. That's correct. You're a priority. And if that officer / investigator does not have any cases, then they'll be on the road assisting the road patrol and taking 911 calls. And also, if our safety of our children is my number one priority, that officer will also be like to be more involved with the schools for the children, be a little positive role model for them, and show them that we are also, and we're not to be scared of. So that's what one officer would do. Now, the other officer would be a dedicated traffic enforcement / patrol. With the Gratiot going down the middle of our jurisdiction, with the last Office of Highway Safety said that speed has increased the last year or so, and that increased the fatalities. That also would be concentrating on speeders, whether it be on Gratiot or in side streets where citizens are complaining of cars going through their neighborhoods at excessive speeds. They'll concentrate violations along Gratiot River, Gratiot near Meyer, Gratiot Miller. They also respond to stop sign violations, which we get a lot of complaints of also.
At one time there was, the signs are still up too, that there is an enhanced enforcement area on Gratiot on M46. Is that still in effect with all of the various departments, including yours?
It's been a while since we've been involved in that. It's run by the state, who will set a date in enforcement. But when it comes up, we do get involved in that.
All right, let's talk about the size of your department right now. Is how many officers?
Right now, we are authorized to have 6 patrolmen, a sergeant, and myself, a chief. We currently have 4 officers right now. Another one is training, bring up to 5, and we have 1 more opening left. But like all police departments around the country, we're short staffed, and it's hard to find.
That was my next question. Where are you going to find these officers? That is the issue, isn't it? For every department.
Yes, it is. It is, and it's a difficult situation, but we're going to work through it. So right now, we're authorized to have 6 full-time sworn officers, and with the addition of 2 officers, we'll be up to 10.
So, when you're talking to groups or you're trying to get somebody to be interested in police work, what got you into it, and why should someone become a peace officer?
What I got into was I liked helping people. I enjoy helping people, and that's basically what we do is is help people in times of need, whether it be just a lost dog, or they had the valuable item that they believe was stolen and you cover it back. It's the feeling that you get when you do something for them. They say, thank you, shake your hand. This meant a lot to me. It's not the pay, that's for sure. I guess I shouldn't have said that, but it's what you get out of it.
Yeah.
It's what you get out of it in your heart, and that you know you're doing the right thing, and doing the right thing for the people you serve.
And the other side of it, in the same way that Chief Cousins has to find folks that have the 300 hours of training in firefighter 1 and 2, your police officers have to be MCOL certified, don't they?
Yes, that's correct. We don't have that much training as a fire department. It's a 16-week academy. When they graduate academy, we have a FTO program as the field training officer. The new officer will ride with 2 different officers each month, and they'll get evaluated on how they perform the duties, and then they'll be on their own if they pass that. And then there's ongoing training that they don't receive in the academy that we could send them to.
And the academy is, the last I knew, was at Delta College, wasn't it? There is a local academy.
Yep, that's the local academy, but the other jurisdictions have academies also.
All right, so this millage, let's talk about how much, Chief Cousins, what's the dollar amount? I mean, what's the millage amount here? What are we talking about?
We're asking for a 1 mil increase. Right now we're at 2 mils, and that's for both public safety operations side of things. And we're asking for a 1 mil increase to bring it right to 3 mil.
How does that compare to the rest of the county?
We're at the low currently, and we're at the low end of that. And even if we get this millage and it takes us up to 3, we'll still be at the lowest end of that. Our records are showing like Tallahassee Township is at 4.5, Richland is at 5.1, Saginaw Township 5.8, and we're at the 2. So we would still be. Our township has always been a rather conservative community, which I think is what we so much appreciate about that. And so even with this, we'll be at the lower end of it, but yet trying to take care of the needs the best we can with being fiscally responsible.
All right, and there is another millage that has to do with apparatus and equipment. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so sometimes I enjoy the history side of things. If you would allow me to go back into the 90s, in the 1990s, our residents had the forethought to support our department in an apparatus millage, and that apparatus millage funds things like our fire trucks. Apparatus, fancy word for it, but these fire trucks are SCBAs. That's the air pack that we wear on our backs. The extrication equipment we have, building structural types. All of those things are really, really expensive, and so to have a separate millage for just that has been a huge, huge support for us. And a couple different examples. When we outfit a firefighter right now, we're looking at around $3,500 for just the fire gear that they wear. The air pack on our back that allows us to breathe into a toxic environment, that's $8,500. The jaws of life, we hear about something with that's $4,400. The brand new ladder truck that we just had recently purchased, that we really got a really good deal on it as a demo unit, that was $723,000. That was a really good deal. If we bought that exact same truck today, we would be at $843,000. So fire trucks are very, very pricey. So the forethought that our residents had way back in the 90s is something we feel that we can still maintain going forward with those costs if we could just get a renewal of that. So that'll be critical for us, is to have the renewal of that apparatus millage.
And that's a renewal, not an increase. There's no increase there, right?
Correct. There's 2 ballot questions for Thomas Township residents. One is an apparatus which is only a renewal, and the other one is a operations, essentially, and that's the 1 mil increase for both police and fire. One of the questions that Chief Fong and I both have received was questions about, was this going to buy more of this or that? And then the other day I had a question or comment come in of millage is going to be just for people. And it's like, that's exactly what that is going to do is both Chief Fong and myself are hiring 2 people with that. And I think the feel was, that's good. It's not like you're just putting into something, but it's people out on the streets, people that are going to give back and help our community.
All right, Chief Fong, why should someone vote for the millage?
Well, it's public safety. It's number one thing that everybody worries about is public safety. Whether it be just recently fire, pretty large fire, and without going to assist the citizens there. And for me, it's prevention of harm coming to our citizens. And with this millage, the police department will be able to do enhanced service for the people of Thomas Township that they rightfully deserve. So it would be, it's hard to say not public safety.
Yeah,
that'd be my answer. Is that everyone likes to be safe and deserves to be safe in their houses.
Chief Cousins, I assume you agree?
Yeah, exactly. We have we appreciate our residents. Our residents are our customers. So if I'm a business owner, my job is I need customers. So I'm going to take care of my customer. And even though it may be a little different, we want to treat our residents as just that. They're our customers. We want to take care of them with serving them to the best of our ability. That's something that we want. We believe that they want. In the fire department in particular, if that's going to be problematic, and there will be an impact because a lot of our budget goes into the wages, if you will, for our paid on call people. Mm-hmm. We will not be able to continue medical rescue services as we know it today. Budgetarily wise, if the millage goes down, we will need to cease doing medical calls probably within 5 years. I definitely don't see it being able to go beyond 5 years, but it's a reality that we can't keep going the way we are. We rely on volunteers and it's just something we cannot continue to do. And like I said, I'm predicting that'll be about no more than 5 years, and we'll have to stop doing medical rescue. And that's one of the bigger things that we provide our residents.
All right. Well, listen, August 2nd is the date. We urge everybody to get out and vote. And Chief Cousins, Chief Fong, thank you for spending a little time with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us on here. We appreciate the opportunity.
You're welcome. I'll see both of you, and have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Bye-bye now. Chief Michael Cousins, the fire chief in Thomas Township, Chief Al Fong, who is the police chief in Thomas Township, the public safety millage, August 2nd, next Tuesday, is the day to get out and vote. No matter how you feel about any of these issues in your township, your burg, your city may have its own issues. By all means, get out and let your voice be heard. My voice is going to speak about Thalen Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bay City right now, because if you're thinking of buying a new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram truck, you owe it to yourself to go online to thinkthalen.com. And online, you can complete about 80% of the purchase online. You still have to go in, sign the paperwork, pick up the vehicle, obviously, but about 80%, you can even build your own vehicle online. Thalen has new vehicles arriving all the time, so make sure your name's on one of them. And if you're looking to move up to a newer pre-owned car or truck, then the Thalen Auto Group on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City is where you ought to be, because they have pre-owned and inspected vehicles from all of the dealerships in one place, offering you one of the largest inventories in the Great Lakes Bay region. You can sit down with a Thalen representative. You can come to a deal on the vehicle you want. You can drive it home that day. Remember that Thalen is the family who's been serving your automotive needs for 45 years. Stop today or visit them online. thinkthalin.com.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well thought out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now. Uma. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Uma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just per user plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan Silver Dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan Silver Dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins mint Mint. Just call 1-800-222-3807 and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-222-3807. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-222-3807 now to secure your new Morgan Silver Dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-222-3807.
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward.
A 4-foot replica of the Statue of Liberty using elbow macaroni?
With glue and art supplies from Staples.
By tomorrow.
Right now, 24-count Crayola crayons and Polly Pocket folders are just 50 cents each, and 1-inch binders are only $1.99. Everything on your list at amazing prices. Staples, we're not going back. We're going forward to school. Ends 8/27 in store, only limit 30.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, back with you here on WSGW. Open phones for the remainder of the hour. I want to just remind everybody, I was asked yesterday to repeat this, so I'll repeat it again. We had a caller off here yesterday asking about how to get their ballot, a sample ballot from the Secretary of State. So I will go over that again. Go online to mi.gov/SOS. mi.gov/SOS. You will then come up on the Secretary of State's homepage. At the top of that page, across the top of the page, or thereabouts, you will find categories. One of them says elections. Click on elections, and that will take you to a page that has choices on it. One of the choices is Voter Information Center. Click on that, and that will take you to a page that offers choices. And one of the last choices at the bottom is what's on the ballot. Click on that, and that will take you to a page where you fill out, you do not put in your identity, you fill out where you live. It'll ask you, what state you live in, what township, city, burg you live in, what precinct you vote in. And that's how they narrow down to get your ballot by that final question of what precinct do you vote in. Click on that, and there your ballot comes up, and you can print it, you can download it, you can do what you want with it. But it is the sample ballot. It is not, by the way, an absentee ballot. It's not the official ballot that you mark off. It is just a ballot it's a sample ballot that shows you all of the competitions coming up on election day. On the left side is the Democratic Party. On the right side is the Republican Party, where there are primary races. And you may find there are races. You may find there are not races in your region. For example, where I live, here in Thomas Township, and I think this is probably going to be true in a lot of the region, on the ballot I have, there are no primary contests on the Democratic side. It's all single individuals running, so there's no need to vote for them. I mean, because they automatically are in. There's no competition. On the Republican side, there is competition in almost every one of the races. Now, remember this, you can't cross over. You cannot vote for a Democrat on one side and a Republican on the other side in a different race. You have to vote either Republican or Democrat. That's the way primaries work. Once you get beyond that, though, do not quit, because there is, in like Saginaw County, there is a nonpartisan section for judge of the circuit court. You may find that's true in other counties. And then, of course, there are all of the proposals that your particular precinct, district, election, area has. You may find there are just maybe a couple of regionals. Maybe there's a local, maybe there's not. Where I live, I have 2 county proposals and 3 local proposals that I have to vote on. So basically, it's smart to download a ballot and have a heads up on what you want to do when you go into the polling place. It'll make life a lot easier for you because it'll be a lot faster. You'll just simply get your ballot, go up and mark it off because you'll know what you're doing right off the top. Absentee ballot, same way. Because you get the absentee ballot, it's going to have all the information on it for you. All right. Again, lines open. Whatever you want to chat about, give us a call.
I'm Chris Velasquez. My favorite show was Dirty Jobs. It reminded me of growing up on the farm, working road construction, and night shifts at the potato chip factory. I've liked every job and learned from every experience. There are no non-essential jobs. The worst thing big government did the last 2 years was divide us by declaring who was essential and who was not. You have a right to provide for your family. As your state senator, my job is to protect that right opportunity to our communities.
Paid for by the committee to elect Christian Velasquez for state senate. All roads lead to the 67th annual Munger Potato Festival, going on now through Sunday. Enjoy carnival rides, food tent, games, famous potato bratwurst, and of course, plenty of free potatoes and great music. Today in the entertainment tent, it's Andrew Braun, Waylon Handel, followed by the Family Tradition Band, plus the front-wheel drive figure eight and the rear-wheel drive demo derby. Saturday is Kids Day with the 5K Spud Run, sponsored by Frankenmuth Credit Union, the Power Wheel figure eight, front and rear-wheel drive figure eight, front-wheel drive team demo derby, and music in the entertainment tent featuring Rebel Line and the Sinclairs. The corner at 2. On Sunday, it's the traditional chicken barbecue hosted by Bay City Central Athletics. The parade begins at 1, and in the afternoon in the entertainment tent, it's the Kowalski Brothers Polka Band, followed by Andrew Braun. No admission charge. Parking is free, and even free admittance to the grounds. It's the granddaddy of them all, the Munger Potato Festival, sponsored by the Munger Volunteer Firemen. Details at mungerpotatofest.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
I studied Spanish in college and never got fluent. But then I tried Babbel.
Want the most effective way to learn another language? In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons will have you learning another language in as little as 3 weeks.
Babbel is all conversation-based, so it gets you speaking quickly about things you actually talk about in the real world.
You'll really see a difference in how conversational you can be in just a few weeks.
Babbel isn't just lessons. You can listen to podcasts, you can even take live online classes with a language teacher. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel.
University studies have shown that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a semester of college Spanish. If you want to learn a new language, there's no better way than Babbel. Text radio to 64,000 to try Babbel for free. That's radio to 64,000. RADIO to 64,000.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. Symptoms, because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi, this is Mike Avery, and here's what's coming up this week on Outdoor Magazine. First, Captain Bobby Sullivan talks about the decision to become a full-time captain. Then Larry Jennings talks about jigging up big king salmon, plus Nick Green of MUCC. And in our third hour, it's Bob Ransom, the man behind Primal Tree Stands. And Sundays at 9 on WSGW.
All right, back with you in the remaining minutes, and Scott is in Saginaw. So, Scott, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. Yeah, yesterday, your last two callers were talking about January 6th, and they thought they were so clever. Well, here's a few questions that I'd ask Ms. Hutchinson. First one would be, were you threatened or promised anything for your testimony? And then we'd move on. They said, who else could we bring up for a testimony? Well, Ms. under oath that it was her signature on the documentation. One of Trump's lawyers says, that is my signature. Let's get a handwriting expert and find out who's telling the truth. Yeah. The committee does not want to have anything to do with it.
No, I know that. I had another thought. Think of this now. Hutchinson made her testimony about the supposed attempt by Trump to reach over in the beast and get the steering wheel and all of that because he wanted to go to the Capitol. And right after that, I think within a day or two, there were some Secret Service agents who said, no, that didn't happen. Why weren't they called to testify? Why weren't they called to offer up a counter position? I know the answer. We all know the answer because
exactly.
The committee doesn't want anybody to defend him.
Well, exactly. Well, I believe it was January 1st, Donald Trump signed another document requesting 20,000 armed service members. Pelosi and Bowser both said no. Yeah. I would like to know. I'd like to get them up there in a charge of security at the Capitol.
I will tell you this.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I understand that, Scott, but I will tell you this. In my opinion, as an observer, these committee hearings have had an impact, and they were designed to do exactly that. The members of this committee do not want Donald Trump running for office again. And they can't stop him legally unless there's a charge and conviction, but they can certainly stop him in the arena of public opinion. And I think that's what this is all about. And you can see it. You can see it in the polls because we know Biden's numbers are very low, but so are Trump's numbers beginning to take toll in terms of people that want him to run again. So it's had its effect.
Well, yeah, I agree. It's designed to distract, just like an executive order this president signed. against the schools where he is withholding millions of dollars from the food programs from kindergarten through 12th grade if the schools won't comply with letting boys go into girls' bathrooms.
I would take issue with one thing you said. It's not
What's that?
designed to distract. It's designed to impact. It's designed to shift public opinion.
Well, I don't disagree with you, but I'm saying it's also designed to keep the headlines focused on this. Let's not talk about.
Yeah, but the headlines change. They didn't know going into these hearings back then that the headlines of today were going to be the headlines they are. Their purpose is onefold. Donald Trump.
Well,
period.
Oh, I agree.
So, hey, I got to run. Talk again. Take care. Bye-bye. Dan, I got a minute. Go ahead real quick. This is Dan in Bay City. Real quick.
Okay. This isn't a trial. So when you complain about nobody defending Trump, it doesn't matter. This is just information.
So it's political then. It's not a trial. It's political.
Well, I guess those two dang Republicans, or three on there, they're just turncoats and traitors because they should be
to the
just
Republican Party, they
behind
probably
Donald
feel
Trump,
that way.
right behind Donald Trump. And that really didn't happen, I don't think.
Okay,
I
Dan.
think Alex Jones said that didn't happen.
Oh, who cares what Alex Jones says? He's useless. All right. Hey, I got to run, buddy. I'm out of time. We'll talk again. Thanks a lot.
In this election, look to the name you can trust for state representative, Bill G. Schuette. Working as a Defense Intelligence Agency officer, Bill G. Schuette joined the fight against terrorists and drug cartels. Now Bill G. Schuette is prepared to move mid-Michigan forward. He will fight Biden inflation and put money back in your wallet by cutting the income tax. Schuette backs the blue and will support our law enforcement. Schuette will fight to ensure parents have a seat at the table in their children. Voting should be honest and easy, which is why Bill G. Schuette supports common sense photo ID requirements for elections. On August 2nd, vote for the conservative Republican you can trust, Bill G. Schuette.
I'm Bill G. Schuette, and this ad was paid for by Bill G. Schuette for state representative. I brief generals. I can stand up to Democrats in Lansing.
Hey, Mike, what are you doing way up on that ladder? You're going to hurt yourself.
Oh, I'm trying to unclog these gutters.
That's smart. I had water damage from my gutters last year. It cost me $10,000.
Wait, $10,000?
Yeah, and from over here, it looks like water's been pouring over your clogged gutters. And your foundation. You need to do what I did. Get off the ladder and call Leaf Filter.
Yeah, but I need to get these gutters flowing now.
That's why you need to call Leaf Filter. They'll clean and realign your gutters and install their exclusive micro mesh screen system so nothing gets in your gutters except water.
So Leaf Filter protects my house from damage and means no more gutter cleaning for me?
Bingo. Plus, Leaf Filter has an industry-leading lifetime warranty, so your gutters are covered for life.
Thanks, Frank. I'm calling Leaf Filter today.
Don't go another day with your home unprotected. Call 1-844-300-LEAF or go to tryleaffilter.com for your free gutter inspection. Call 1-844-300-LEAF or go to tryleaffilter.com right now for an extra 15% savings. Call 1-844. Go to tryleaffilter.com. That's 1-844-300-LEAF.
Paid for by govmint.com.
Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan silver dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan silver dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 1-800-222-3807 and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver. First time in history this has happened, but with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-222-3807. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-222-3807 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-222-3807.
All right, next hour, we'll be chatting with Ernie Krygier from Ernie Krygier Appliance Service and Parts, helping you with your major appliance repairs. That happens right after the news next.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour,
presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez in New York. President Biden's just approved a disaster declaration for Kentucky, where the death toll is rising from heavy rain and massive flooding in the eastern part of the state. Governor Andy Beshear says at least 15 people have died, including children, and the number could double.
We are still in the search and rescue mode, and at least in some areas, the water is not going to crest until tomorrow.
Those water rescues backed by the National Guard. Hundreds of homes are destroyed. Tens of thousands of people.
It's going to be a tough couple days, and then it's going to be a long rebuild. But we're tough enough. We'll make it. Let's stick together.
There's flooding in Las Vegas, too. Airports, parking lots, famous hotels, and casinos, all waterlogged. Outrage among Democrats in Washington after Senate Republicans did an about-face and blocked funding for vets exposed to toxic military burn pits. Correspondent Catherine Herridge.
Veterans advocates are calling on Congress not to leave Washington until the legislation passes. The next opportunity is Monday with another procedural vote. In the meantime, veteran Mark Jackson told CBS good intentions, but more disappointment after years of suffering and their service.
Republicans say there's too much money budgeted in that bill for unrelated programs. Officials in Washington, D.C. say a humanitarian crisis is growing over migrants being bussed in from elsewhere. Reporter Annalisa Gale is with our affiliate WTOP.
It's ridiculous protesting outside Mayor Muriel Bowser's birthday party. Volunteers with mutual aid networks assisting hundreds of migrants spoke out against the mayor's plans to bring in 150 National Guardsmen per day to assist.
We need to make sure that there is a national response.
Mayor Bowser says the city is at a she views as a political statement being made by the governors of Texas and Arizona.
Consumer spending was up 1.1% last month as prices climbed 6.8% from January to June. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
The number will not change the course of action for the Federal Reserve, which this week raised interest rates by 0.75 percentage point. Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, the PCE price index increased by 4.8% from a year ago.
Shakira could be headed to prison.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that.
Prosecutors in Spain say they'll ask a court to sentence the in 8 years if she's convicted in an expected trial for alleged tax fraud. She's charged with failing to pay the government $15 million. This is CBS News.
Find great hires fast with Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Research shows listeners don't like it when ads interrupt their music. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance, we made this ad. Remove your left earphone. Liberty Mutual customizes home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
If you're missing this informative ad, you must love wasting your cash.
It's the easy and smart way to save.
Now it's all been said, so if that earphone was out, put it back in your head.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 66 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Dent. The Michigan League for Public Policy, or MLPP, has released this year's Kids Count data profiles. The data is used to measure issues relating to the well-being of children in Michigan. Over the last decade, the report shows an improvement in several areas, including a decline in child poverty, which went down 17% in Saginaw births, and fewer children placed in out-of-home care due to abuse or neglect. The MLPP points to COVID-era policies, such as an increased child tax credit, as positive contributors. The state didn't fare so well in other areas. Prenatal care declined, and preschool enrollment hasn't moved significantly over the past 10 years. To read this year's data or for more information, visit mlpp.org. My Michigan Medical Center Alma broke ground on a 51,200 square foot surgical suite renovation and expansion project on Wednesday. The expansion will include 3 state-of-the-art surgical suites, 2 procedure rooms, private pre-operative and recovery rooms, and a new sterile processing department. The surgical services area phase 1 of construction is scheduled for completion in spring of 2023. Phase 2, including a new medical center entrance and enhanced patient access for diagnostic imaging, is slated for completion in late 2024. W wraps up its convention showing some strains from the recent corruption crisis. MNN's Jeff Gilbert reports.
Despite the union's motto of solidarity forever, you could see the divisions between traditionalists and reformers. But there were also those who said you can seek reform, but also appreciate what the union has done for you.
But it doesn't mean that people haven't made mistakes, and it doesn't mean that we need to look at other options. There are plenty of people in this UAW that are smart and they can handle these jobs.
The UAW emerging with a number of candidates who will be participating in the first ever direct election of leadership. Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News Network.
WSGW News Time is 10:07.
All roads lead to the 67th annual Munger Potato Festival, going on now through Sunday. Enjoy carnival rides, food tent, games, famous potato bratwurst, and of course, plenty of free potatoes and great music. It's Andrew Braun, Waylon Handel, followed by the Family Tradition Band, plus the front-wheel drive figure eight and the rear-wheel drive demo derby. Saturday is Kids Day with the 5K Spud Run, sponsored by Frankenmuth Credit Union. The Power Wheel figure eight, front and rear-wheel drive figure eight, front-wheel drive team demo derby, and music in the entertainment tent featuring Rebel Line and the Sinclairs. The Cornhole Tournament returns Saturday at 2. On Sunday, it's the traditional chicken barbecue hosted by Bay City Central Athletics. The parade begins at 1, and in the afternoon in the entertainment tent, it's the Kowalski Brothers Polka Band, followed by Andrew Braun. No admission charge. Parking is free, and even free admittance to the grounds. It's the granddaddy of them all, the Munger Potato Festival, sponsored by the Munger Volunteer Firemen. Details at mungerpotatofest.com.
WSGW News Time is 10:08. The weather forecast is next. Northwood University has been recognized for its esports program. The university was awarded Program of the Year by the National Association of Collegiate Wolves. Compete in 11 different esports games and brought home a World Championship, North American Championship, and 3 national titles this year. Northwood's coach Cody Elson was also named Director of the Year and Rocket League Coach of the Year. A second person has been arrested for open murder in the death of a 2-year-old in Alpena. State police say 22-year-old Adriana Pavelka has been arrested for the death of her 2-year-old. She's being held without bond in Iosco County. Troopers say Pavelka was living with her boyfriend in Glennie at the time of the murder. 31-year-old Aaron Trout is also being held on murder charges after he dropped off Pavelka and the child at the hospital in Alpena last Friday. The state health department is encouraging COVID-19 vaccines for all eligible children, including those 6 months to 5 years of age, but is a potential side effect the reason some parents are saying no to the vaccine. MNN Health reporter has more.
Myocarditis, or inflammation of the heart muscle, is a potential side effect with vaccines. Dr. Natasha Bagdasarian is Chief Medical Executive for the State Health Department.
The risk of myocarditis with a COVID-19 infection is higher, much higher, than the risk of myocarditis from vaccine.
Dr. Bagdasarian says the risk of getting myocarditis from the vaccine is about 1 in 200,000 people. To learn more, go to ivaccinate.org. Dr. Deanna Lights, the Michigan News Network.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 989-752-0790. It's 10 after 10. I'm Jonathan Dent.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Blend of clouds and sunshine develops here for today. We'll see a high in the low 80s. Winds out of the west around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. And then for tonight, most 7. Saturday, sunshine, high of 84 degrees. Then by Sunday, plenty of blue skies and sun with a high around 88. Monday, a chance for rain showers here late. We'll see increasing clouds, high of 88 degrees. Then by Tuesday, mostly sunny sky conditions and a high around 83. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 72.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. It's on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And good morning to you. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show. We're having a little difficulty getting Ernie up. He says he's on the line, but I don't see him, so I sent him another link. And we'll see if we can find out why he's not making contact. There we go. I'm just going to send him a little quick note here and see if we can get things set up. Meantime, Ernie will be our guest as soon as we get it set up. If we can't get the video set up, we'll have him to call in, but he'll be able to answer your questions on major appliance repair and the like, as he has done for 40 some odd years. It's been that long. It's been since, I don't know, 79 or 80 that we've been doing these shows with Ernie, and it's been a long and pleasant relationship, even though we pick on each other unmercifully. It's still a good relationship. I love him like a brother, and that's the way we react to each other. Later on, too, by the way, after the 11 o'clock news on Focus, today we're going to focus on Member First Credit Union and what they're doing in the community. It should be an interesting discussion to figure out what needs to be done. Ernie says he can see me, but I can't see him. So he's not coming through one way or another with us. Don't know why. Let's see if we do this. Nope. I don't see Ernie, so I'll tell you what. Pick up the old phone and give us a call, and we'll chat that way. I will text you the phone number. You probably know it by heart, but I'll text it to you anyway, just to make sure you have it. And let's see here. Here we go. All right, we will send that to Ernie, and have to do it that way for one reason or another. He is not getting through on the link that we use, our video link. So I can't see him. He can see me, but I can't see him, which means I can't hear him either, because I can't put him up on the screen. So we'll get him to call in and do it that way, and see if we can make contact with him. So Ernie, pick up the old phone and do it the old-fashioned way. It'd be interesting talking to Ernie about the supply chain. We know there's shortages in manufacturing, but what about service? Well, let's say good morning to Ernie Krygier. Mr. Krygier, good morning. I'm sorry I can't see you, so I don't know what happened there. I even sent you a second link today, and it didn't work.
And I clicked on it. Are you sure you paid your bill?
Yeah, I see me. I know I'm there. How about you?
I see me and I see my mic going up and down, telling me that the mic's okay. But
Yeah, but I don't see. I don't see a box that says you're on to the link. So that's where we lost it. Anyway, we don't worry about it. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. I was starting to talk to folks. By the way, if you have a major appliance at home and you're having a problem, give us a call, 989-752-6111, and go from there. I had a note here from someone in the station. It says maybe you need to enter the studio. Did you not do that? But I don't know if you have to do that with the link. Maybe you do. I don't know. Anyway, regardless of that, we all know about supply chain shortages in manufacturing. What about the service industry? How has it impacted you guys?
It has been tough, not just on cosmetic parts. You know, a lot of times somebody will get a $3,000 refrigerator that's got a dent in the door, and it might take 2 months for me to get in the door for that customer. But what really makes somebody that's a year and a half old and a control board goes out, and I have to wait a month for a control board, and that poor customer sitting there with a dead refrigerator.
Yeah, it's one thing to have a cosmetic, and it's another thing to have an operational problem.
Yeah. It's been.
Has it improved at all?
No, I would say it's still just like it was a year and a half ago. If the manufacturer doesn't have that part in stock, then we have to wait for it to come over from either Korea or China or Mexico or from wherever. Very few functional parts are made here in the States.
Wow. Even for companies like Whirlpool that manufacture here, most of their parts are shipped to them?
Correct.
Yeah.
A lot of those are coming from Mexico.
Yeah, maybe it's a lesson we have learned in this country about being, so tied to others for our needs. I hope so, anyway. Just amazing.
Back in the day, the thought was, well, let's get it somewhere else that it's a little less expensive.
Yeah, I understand.
And now it isn't so inexpensive as it isn't convenient to wait for it.
So let me ask this. I mean, technology has been wonderful. We all have better lives because of technology and all of that.
Sure.
Has technology improved the appliance, the refrigerator, the washing machine, the air conditioner, what have you?
To a degree. I mean, like we take refrigerators. Back in the day, they did cost you quite a bit to run. Today's refrigerators, oh my gosh, they are very energy efficient. And, we're into a new style refrigerant instead of the old R12 and the old R134A. We're into the butanes right now. Talk about efficient as far as cost of operation. It's amazing. But what happens is like every time we go to a different technology, old-time technicians kind of fall off the edge because they're not always used to change. So adapting to this new refrigerant has been a little bit of a challenge, but, we do try to stay on that cutting edge, and
so let me ask,
it makes life interesting.
So let me ask this. We get rid of the old refrigerants, and we start loading these systems with butane. Does my refrigerator run as cold? Is the system as efficient?
Yes, and funny you say that because back a couple of years ago, there were a couple of manufacturers that did make some changes as far as how cold they thought the freezer should be. And so what happened is that got rid of their old refrigerator freezer and bought this new, energy efficient, discovered that freezer isn't going to run 5 below zero, that it's only designed to run about 5 above. So, of course, we like our ice creams, the Google clusters, the marshmallow, and whatever. And those ice creams need to be kept at 0 or below to keep them firm. So now what happens is you have people that, would like to bend their spoon when they scoop the ice cream out, where now it comes out pretty easy. And you better eat it fast because it's melting.
Yeah, well, all sacrifices, huh? The sacrifices we make. All right, hang on. If you have a question for Ernie, give us a call, 989-752-6111. And Ernie, I want you to, while we're during the break here, I want you to go to your computer and make sure you hit the Enter Studio button. See if that does it for you. We'll be back with Ernie Krygier right after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
The deals are hot during the annual summer sale, July 25th through the 30th at Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center in Midland. Save 40% on all trees, shrubs, and perennials, all ready for summer planting. Save up to 50% on select discontinued styles of patio furniture and other garden accents. 50% off all remaining annuals, hanging baskets, and patio pots. 30% off all ceramic pottery. Hurry in for best selection. Through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Visit us on the web at www.maplehillmidland.com. Facebook.
Paid for by government.com. Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan Silver Dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan Silver Dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 1-800-222-3807 and you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-222-3807. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-222-3807 now to secure your new Morgan Silver Dollar. That's 1-800-222-3807.
I'm Connell McShane. This is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open modestly higher, though Wall Street is looking at new inflation numbers. Prices rose last month at the hottest pace since January of 1982. The PCE inflation index rose 6.8% in the year ending in June. The core index, excluding food and energy, was up 4.8%. Chevron reported a record $11.6 billion quarterly profit, though the company lost $5.5 billion in 2020. ExxonMobil also reported record earnings for the period. Both companies say they're increasing capacity to meet demand. Apple and Amazon shares are higher. Wall Street is looking at encouraging signs in their earnings reports. iPhone sales rose in the spring quarter. Amazon's optimistic about the rest of the year. That's your Fox. Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, beat the largest timeshare company in federal court and has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-328-9696. That's 800-328-9696.
Annette Glenn was a high school sprinter and state champion. Now Annette Glenn's running for state senate, championing fairness, ensuring girls compete against girls, protecting girls' sports, and girls' privacy in the locker room. Paid for by Annette Glenn for state senate.
Introducing a special first time ever. Change your life in an instant ticket. Diamond Riches from the Michigan Lottery. A $50 instant game. 50 years in the making with over $300 million in total prizes. The richest ever. Top prizes of $6 million. The highest ever. And 50 chances to win on every ticket. The most ever. We're celebrating 50 years in an epic way. Play Diamond Riches from the Michigan Lottery. For fun, for schools, for 50 years. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
We're broadcasting today from beautiful downtown Munger. It's the site of the 67th annual Munger Potato Festival. This is day number 3. Everything kicks off at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The amusement rides open up, and then, of course, a little bit later on, just a couple of hours later, the entertainment tent opens up where we are broadcasting from right now. Day number 2, or I should say night number 2 of the demo derbies continue, and they'll have one more evening of demo derbies as well. That will be tomorrow night. Waylon Hanal is going to be performing here in the entertainment tent a little along with Andrew Braun, and then the Family Tradition Band kicks everything off at 9:30 tonight. Lots of loaded potato brats here, and of course tons of free potatoes. It's the 67th annual Munger Potato Festival going on through Sunday. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. The 5K Spud Run sponsored by the Frankenmuth Credit Union, and then Kids Day activities kick off at 9:30, and we'll have a lot more information for you on that. Broadcasting, as I said today, from the Munger Potato Festival Fairgrounds. More reports coming up.
WSGW is your station for the Tigers.
Fly ball, right field, looking up, and it's off the wall. One run is in. Jonathan Scope is being waved around third. The throw to the plate, not in time. Tigers win. Victor Reyes delivers.
Tigers baseball brought to you in part by Lingle Stevens Cycle, Wofiles Ace Hardware in Saginaw. Your home for Detroit Tigers baseball is WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, chatting with Ernie Krygier, who I can now see. It's one of the disadvantages of actually being able to fix things is I now have to look at him, but that's all right.
So, Arthur,
yeah.
Seeing that Terry Henney was able to plug Munger, can I take a second and plug an upcoming event this coming Tuesday at 6:30 at Twin Oaks Golf Course, our last closest to the pin?
At 6:30 in the morning.
That's right. That means we get up early.
I may not be there, though. I'll be up early, but I may not be there because I have a remote at the Saginaw County Fair that I have to get done.
Oh, actually, that happened last year, the same time.
I think it did. So,
and we did just fine with you not being there.
Yes, I understand.
Surprise. But no, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be right along Freeland Road, the par 3, and we had a good turnout last year, and I'm expected to see lots of people come for our last chance.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you can win a foursome in our outing on the 16th at Sawmill.
Yes.
So we're looking
all
forward
right.
to that. All right.
This business is done.
Good. All right, folks. If you have any questions about appliance repair, give us a call. Chat with Ernie, 989-752-6111. Ernie Krygier Appliance Service and Parts on Bay Road in Saginaw. And I was musing before we got hooked up with you that we've been doing this, I think now, I'm guessing it's about 42 years, 43 years, something like that.
Pretty close. I think you had hair then, so it's kind of been a while ago.
And yours wasn't white. But anyway, in those 42 years, Ernie, how dramatically has the appliance industry changed?
Oh, gosh. How dramatically? Well, being with Danbros for 18 years in the 70s and 80s, we did something back then that was really unique with a 10-year warranty on a Manor product that was sold.
I remember that.
And we kind of set the standard. And after that, some of the manufacturers picked up on it and went to a 10-year warranty, let's say, on their compressors and on some of the direct drive brushless motors. But the sad little tail on those warranties is they don't cover the labor. And the labor has really changed. Back in the day, service calls were like $15. Now you're talking over $100 to get a technician to come to the house because of the expense. I mean,
yeah,
it's just crazy on how expensive it is right now to put a guy on the road, get him out to the house, and hopefully fix it the first time.
You have the cost of the vehicle, you have the cost of the guy, you got the cost of the fuel, and now we add to that the cost of the parts.
Oh yes, and that has got and just getting a part shipped to you. In some cases, I have parts distributors that are dinging us $20 to send a $5 part to us.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a tough road, but as far as how appliances have changed over the 42 years, refrigeration has really come a long way. And it's all been positive, especially when it comes to energy efficiency. Everybody's fallen over themselves about these French doors, but back in the day, Whirlpool had a French door refrigerator in the 70s. But they just never, kind of kicked off. Everybody was still used to the freezer on the top, refrigerator on the bottom. And actually, Amana and Whirlpool were the two manufacturers that had bottom mount freezers on their refrigeration systems. So it's been interesting to watch how things have changed. Technicians, obviously, the 50-year-old technician really isn't out there anymore. You have young technicians coming up through the ropes, and it's tough.
Yeah, for a long time, you taught HVAC, and you taught those
37 years I taught refrigeration at Delta College.
Right? So
go ahead.
Compared to what your first day in class was like, what were you teaching your last day in class? How different was it in the refrigeration world?
Refrigeration, it's basics. Refrigeration is nothing more than a transfer of heat from one place to the other. You're picking heat up inside that freezer and you're sending it to a set of coils that are outside that box. So anytime you can pull heat away from a product, it causes that drop in temperature. That's what keeps our ice cream firm. So the principle of refrigeration's always been there. Now, how we go about doing it is a whole different ballgame. I mean, we've got compressors now that are variable speeds depending on what the temperature inside. That unit is smart enough to tell that compressor you only need to run 10% of your total RPMs, or you might have something coming out of a defrost cycle, and that board says, you know what, we need to go full book and get that temperature down as quickly as we can because temperature's warmed up through the defrost cycle. So our new refrigeration systems are very, very high end. And look we have Bluetooth washers and dryers and stoves. I mean, it's amazing for the techies that are out there on how they can go about living their lives. Now, like for us old timers, we may not want a Bluetooth.
Yeah, yes. I do have a question about those variable speed compressors, though.
Yep.
Anytime you add an element like that, you're adding cost. If I buy, I don't know, an $800 or $1,000 refrigerator.
Yep.
Versus a $3,000 refrigerator, am I going to get that variable speed in that low end refrigerator?
No. It'll be just a normal 1800 RPM basic compressor that you're going to get. And the same thing, whether it's a $3,000 refrigerator or $800 refrigerator, your ice cream's still going to stay frozen.
Yeah. So what's the difference? Let's talk about that for a minute. If I go out and I spend $1,000, or I go out and spend $3,000 or more, much more, what do I get?
You may get glass shelves that slide in and out. You may have LED lights that are inside that you wouldn't have with the $800. It's the aesthetics that are going to be different. The refrigeration part of it, the cabinets are all going to be foamed in. They're all plastic liners, but it's the features. It's the French doors. It's a unit that has an ice maker and a dispenser that can either go crushed or cubed. And now we have LG that has these gourmet round balls that drop down into the freezer that you can, have a different looking ice cube in your mixed drink instead of a crescent type ice cubes. But
so it's sort of like, if I could maybe, have a comparison, it's sort of like buying a car. I can buy the base model of the car.
Yep.
Or I can put all the features on it, but the base model of the car is still going to get me from point A to point B.
Correct.
$1,000 refrigerator is going to keep my ice cream at 0 degrees, just like $10,000 refrigerator.
Yes. Now the difference, that $10,000 refrigerator may have a better warranty to it than what you'd have with that $800 refrigerator.
Also, here's a question from one of the guys at the station.
Sure.
Does storage space of a refrigerator change much when you look at price?
Yeah, of course. If you're just going to buy an 18 cubic foot freezer on top, you're going to spend $800. If you go out and spend your, $3,200, your capacity in the refrigerator is going to be a lot greater, especially if you have French doors. You have both doors that you're going to be able to put whatever condiments on versus not having that same option with it being above your waist. You're not bending down to get into the vegetable drawers. It's right there for you. The only disadvantage is you're going to bend down to get in a freezer, but we use our freezer a lot less than you do the refrigeration part on top. So it's all about convenience.
And typically, refrigerator space in a kitchen is a fixed size.
Yes.
Does the 25 cubic foot refrigerator fit in the same space the 18 cubic foot refrigerator fits in?
It will be larger. It will be larger. In fact, we now have these refrigerators that actually fit flush to the wall, counter depth refrigerators. And somebody who had a counter depth refrigerator that was, let's say, 10, 15 years old may have a problem finding another refrigerator to fit that size, because as time goes on, manufacturers change or they tweak the outside dimensions, which makes people just go crazy.
All right. If you have a question about appliance repair, give us a call. We're chatting with Ernie Krygier from Ernie Krygier Appliance Service and Parts on Bay Road in Saginaw. We'll be back.
In this election, look to the name you can trust for state representative, Bill G. Schuette. Working as a Defense Intelligence Agency officer, Bill G. Schuette joined the fight against terrorist and drug cartels. Now Bill G. Schuette is prepared to move mid-Michigan forward. He will fight Biden inflation and put money back in your wallet by cutting the income tax. Schuette backs the blue and will support our law enforcement. Schuette will fight to ensure parents have a seat at the table in their children's education. Voting should be honest and easy, which is why Bill G. Schuette supports common sense photo ID requirements for elections. On August 2nd, vote for the conservative Republican you can trust, Bill G. Schuette.
I'm Bill G. Schuette, and this ad was paid for by Bill G. Schuette for state representative. I've briefed generals. I can stand.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. It's fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at Babbel.com/TNC.
I studied Spanish in college and never got fluent. But then I tried Babbel.
Want the most effective way to learn another language? In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons will have you learning another language in as little as 3 weeks.
Babbel is all conversation-based, so it gets you speaking quickly about things you actually talk about in the real world.
You'll really see a difference in how conversational you can.
Babbel isn't just lessons. You can listen to podcasts, play games, watch videos. You can even take live online classes with a language teacher. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel.
University studies have shown that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a semester of college Spanish. If you want to learn a new language, there's no better way than Babbel. Text radio to 64,000 to try Babbel for free. That's radio to 64,000. RADIO to 64,000.
At the United States Postal Service, we deliver with advanced technology and equipment so we can reach over 160 million addresses across the country. We're delivering for thinkers, doers, movers, shakers, groundbreakers, future makers, innovators, trailblazers, disruptors, streamers, dreamers. So no matter what business you're in, we'll always be delivering for you. USPS, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/.
Attention golfers, the WSGW Invitational is coming soon, presented by Westside Decorating Center and powered by Branham's Jewelry. To win your foursome entry into the WSGW Invitational, you must participate in the closest to the pin contest presented by Sarah Automotive of Saginaw. The final contest is Tuesday, August 2nd at Twin Oaks Golf Club in Freeland. Stop by between 6:30 and 9 a.m., take 3 swings at the pin. At the end of the morning team show, the golfer closest to the pin wins the foursome. Plus, you'll have the chance to win the $10,000 hole-in-one contest presented by Buck Insurance.
The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
We are back with you on the Art Lewis Show as we chat with Ernie Krygier from Ernie Krygier Appliance Service and Parts. Let's go to our phones. We have Vincent in Saginaw. Vincent, you are on the phone with Ernie Krygier. Good morning.
Ernie, I've got an older refrigerator, and the door to the refrigerator itself, when you just push it shut with your hand, it doesn't close tightly at the bottom. And I'm wondering, is it very difficult to remove that seal and put a new seal on?
Yeah, in fact, chances are it might not even be available. Is the gasket torn, or is it just that the magnet's not touching the cabinet?
The magnets aren't touching the cabinet.
Okay, and what brand is the refrigerator? What brand?
It's Amanda.
Okay, so what I want you to do, just to be certain that it's not something in the fridge that's pushing on the door, which isn't allowing that door to close, I would take both your crisper drawers out and then see if that door closes a little freer, okay? If it doesn't, then what you have the ability to do is if you flip the gasket kind of over, you're going to see a bunch of screws that go all the way around that perimeter of the door. And what you'll do is it's going to probably be a 1/4 inch nut driver that you're going to do. You're going to take that nut driver and you're going to loosen all those screws that go all the way around the door. And then what you're going to have the ability to do is you're going to take the door itself and you're going to, the top part of it, and you're going to pull the top of it towards you so that the bottom actually moves towards the cabinet. What we're doing is we're shifting the liner so that there's a little more pressure on the bottom part of the door pushing into the cabinet. But you're going to have to be careful because when you go to close the door, the bottom might now fit tight, but the top may not. So you're going to have to kind of adjust it so that you can get both the top and bottom to push into the cabinet like it should. And then once you've got that, then you're going to go back around and tighten all those screws again.
Okay.
Okay, so as long as the gasket's not torn, you might be able to tweak that door to get that gasket to touch the cabinet like it should. But let's make sure the crisper drawers isn't where the problem is, and they're not lined up properly, and it's pushing on the door, not allowing it to seal.
Okay, I'll try that first, and then
go from there.
Seal.
All
right, buddy. Thanks for calling.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
I have an air conditioner question for you.
Yes, sir.
We have, for example, at home, we have window air conditioners.
Yep.
One of my window air conditioners is a 12,000 BTU unit by GE.
Yep.
Sits in the living room window. All right. Every now and then when it runs, there are lights come on. One says automatic or low or high, what have you, and so forth. And then the third light that comes on occasionally that says filter. And I go and check. I pull the front off of it. The filter's clean.
Good.
Oh, I put the door back on again, and I push that filter button, then it goes out.
It's just a reminder to make sure that you're looking at that filter.
Okay.
It's just something that says, hey, you should check the filter to make sure there isn't a bunch of crap on it which would restrict your airflow.
So it's not an indication of restriction. It's just a
Correct.
reminder.
It's just a reminder for you.
Well, how nice of them to do that.
Well, you'd be surprised how many people forget that that's there. And after a few years of operation, they're wondering why that air conditioner isn't blowing cold air like it should. And it's because
Yeah.
it's restricted.
I learned that lesson a long time ago. The other thing I've done, as you well know, is I've screened the outside of my air conditioner.
Yep.
And I had to go out and literally brush off the screening this year.
Oh, it's been quite a year for
because it was impacted.
Yep.
I mean, it was impacted, but at least I could do that.
Yep.
With a good stiff brush, I could get it off there and not worry about what was inside the unit.
Well, the other thing that you did is you just took money out of my pocket.
Well, that was a pleasure. We'll take a break on that note. Ernie Krygier is our guest. If you have any question about major appliances, give us a call, 989-752-6111.
At Consumers Energy, we're harnessing the power of the sun to create a cleaner energy. By 2040, solar energy will provide most of the electricity we deliver to our customers. That's good for the planet and your pocketbook. But we can't get there without your help. We're searching for large parcels of land in Michigan to build solar power plants. If you have a site for us to consider, visit consumersenergy.com/misolar to learn more.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-66. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free. That's 800-401-6681.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19? Then act fast with authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcv19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Say it again, all roads lead to Munger, especially this weekend. A great kickoff night last night here at the festival, and today plenty of activities going on. We touched on some of them a little bit earlier. Of course, the gates open at 5 o'clock tonight in front of the grandstands for night number 2 of the front-wheel drive figure 8, rear-wheel drive demo derby. All that activity, as I said, starts off at 7 o'clock, but the gates open at 5. Waylon Hanal, along with Andrew Braun, ahead of the Family Tradition Band in the entertainment tent where we are located tonight. But then tomorrow, a full family night. All members of the family are really going to enjoy it. The Family Fun Time amusement rides kick off at 12 noon. On Saturday, the 5K Spud Run begins at 9. And then the Kids' Day activities, free activities, begin at 9:30 here in the entertainment tent. Children's games, magician, free bicycle drawing to follow the magic show, which is at noon. and they'll be choosing the junior king and queen, plus a whole lot more. And tomorrow, the cornhole tournament resumes at 2 o'clock. All going on here at the 67th Annual Festival.
The WSGW Morning Team.
WSW online poll about monkeypox. So recently, the World Health Organization declared monkeypox a global public health emergency. Over 16,000 cases have been documented globally. In the U.S., about 2,800 cases confirmed or suspected, and most cases concentrated within the gay community. But the WHO and the CDC say transferred by contact of any body fluids, open sores, contaminated items, even through respiratory droplets, usually in a confined space.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you?
Concerned? 10. But is
10.
it have yeah.
So a poll question right now. What's your response to monkeypox? Are you very concerned and would get vaccinated if you had the chance? Are you not too concerned, but you're keeping updated in the news? Are you aware of it, but you're not paying attention? Or is it not on your radar? What do you say? You can say by voting in the WSW online poll, going to the WSW homepage, scrolling down and finding the online poll box.
The Morning Team Show. Weekdays 5:30 to SGW.
And we're back with you on the second hour of the Art Lewis Show, chatting with Ernie Krygier from Ernie Krygier Appliance Service and Parts on Bay Road in Saginaw. Let's stick with the window air conditioners for a couple of minutes here. We've gone through a pretty hot period of time. Are these units today designed to run and run and run?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's the answer I wanted.
They are. And this summer, I had a number of units that actually came in that was under the 12-month warranty. And what people found was that, they're not covered if the condenser is all full of cottonwood. Manufacturers do not cover a maintenance item. So usually a couple of them took them home and tried tearing them apart to clean. A few we did clean for them, but I tried to give them the hint, like I did you, to take, regular screening and some either duct tape or the aluminum style tape.
Yep.
And put the screening around the louvers so that as cottonwood continues to flow, instead of it getting sucked into the coil, it would accumulate on the outside of the cabinet. And with a broom and a hose, you could wash it down very easily, which would increase the efficiency of that air conditioner. Because again, refrigerations transfer heat from one place to the other. So with an air conditioner, you're pulling the heat out of the room as well as the moisture. And then that transfers to the coil outside the cabinet.
So when you go out to look for an air conditioner, Ernie, you see boxes and boxes of air conditioners of all kinds of sizes.
Yep.
Does it pay to buy an oversized air conditioner? Will it do the job more efficiently?
Well, it'll certainly drop the temperature and pull more moisture out within a shorter period of time than if you had, let's say, an 8,000 BTU air conditioner versus, let's say, a 12,000. And what people need to remember is that there's a break point on most manufacturers between that 10 and 12,000 unit, that it's only 120 volts. When you go more than 12,000, then you have to go to a 220 unit, which means it's going to take more power.
And you're going to probably have to get a rewire.
Yes.
A lot of them don't have the plugs.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, that was a consideration when I bought my 12,000. I didn't want to have to go through that. I wanted to make sure I had a unit I could just plug into
an outlet. Yep.
Yeah. So, how does one know the right size for a room?
Most places you should be able to look at a chart that takes what the square footage of that room is that you're trying to cool down. Now, where I get in trouble with customers is they'll say to me, this unit used to cool the whole house. Well, a room air conditioner is designed to handle a specific area. It's not designed to handle 3 bedrooms, a hallway, a kitchen, and a living room. So that presents a little bit of an issue. Now, I do have people that will have an air conditioner and they will put fans in different areas to move that air, which will buy them a little more comfort. But a window air conditioner is designed for a specific room.
Yeah, our 12,000 is oversized for the room it's in.
Yeah.
And the result of that has been when we come in our door, the house is cool.
Yes.
So the dining room, kitchen, and living room have been cooled by that air conditioner.
Yep.
We keep the bedroom doors, they're separate. But it is, I find it interesting that it does manage to cool that whole area of the house.
And part of it isn't so much the drop in temperature as the amount of humidity that you pulled out. So when you walk into an area where the humidity's been lowered, immediately you have that cooling effect because the moisture that's on your skin is going to start to evaporate.
I've heard you talk about the differential in temperature of what's coming in the room versus what's going out. How do you measure that, and what should it be?
You should see at least a 10 to 12 degree drop from the air going in versus what blows back into the room. So let's say just the thermometer in the room says it's 70 degrees. Well, the air temperature blowing back into the room should be around 60. But not just a drop in temperature is the concern. The evaporator itself should have moisture dripping down. That's telling you that it's pulling the moisture out the way that it should. But a 10 to 12 degree difference between the air going into the coil versus coming back is what we usually look for.
All right. So Ernie Krygier, Appliance Service and Parts. What are your hours?
We're actually there 9 to 5. We're closed from 12 to 12:30 for lunch.
Can people still come in, bring appliances? And
we've had to make adjustments. This COVID has really changed how we're doing our business. If somebody wants to bring an air conditioner or a dehumidifier, what they would do is they'd come to the building. There's a number on the door. They'll call that number, and somebody would let them in so we could get it taken care of.
Just like the radio station.
Yeah.
We're the same way.
Yeah. I mean, the sad thing is a lot of us are working viral. So we're working from home, doing just what we're doing.
What number can they call for service?
Oh, easy. 989-793-3711.
All right. Well, as always, my friend.
Well, I'll miss you on Tuesday, but not a lot.
I didn't think so. Me either. Talk to Ernie.
All right. Be safe.
Bye-bye now. Ernie Krygier from Ernie Krygier Appliance Service and Parts on Bay Road in Saginaw. We thank him for joining us today. We'll be back to close out.
Tudor Dixon. Working in the steel industry, she saw the results of Governor Whitmer's policies. Businesses closed, jobs lost, families moving away. Biden's policies aren't helping either. Gas prices and inflation skyrocketing. Tudor Dixon will stand strong against and government overreach. A businesswoman, a mother, a breast cancer survivor. Fighting for Michigan, not working for Washington. Tudor Dixon for governor.
Paid for by Americans for Prosperity. Not authorized by any candidate. AmericansForProsperity.org.
Dirty exterior? Don't scrub it. Wet it and forget it. Wet and Forget, the easy outdoor cleaner. Wet and Forget works overtime with Mother Nature to eliminate unsightly black and green stains on the exterior of your home with no scrubbing, power washing, or bleach. Use Wet and Forget on all your outdoor surfaces, including decks, siding, roofs, and patios. Wet and Forget is available as a concentrate or extreme reach hose end. Purchase or online at Lowe's, Menards, Ace, or Walmart.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
And that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for this Friday morning. Thanks for being with us. Coming up on Focus, we're going to learn about Member First Credit Union, and that will happen right after the news. From CBS, the national international news, we'll have the local report with the region and the state. and then we will be back with Focus.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. Local rescue teams and the National Guard are searching for the missing in eastern Kentucky after the flooding that has people surveying the damage.
Pure devastation. The river's never been out of this banks over here across the highway. Never been like that in my lifetime.
Kentucky's governor now says at least 16 are dead. The Weather Channel's Mike Seidel is in Garrett, Kentucky.
Some of the water systems here in the state of Kentucky are out of service, so the governor, Andy Beshear, is now taking charge and getting fresh drinking water to those affected areas. Recovery may take months, if not years, for the families hit by the worst flooding here since 19.
Administration says it's reached a deal with Moderna for 66 million doses of a next-generation COVID vaccine. Infectious disease specialist Dr. William Schaffner says that, plus more than 100 million doses already lined up from Pfizer, should be enough supply for later this year.
We want these vaccines to be widely available and continue to be free to everyone. I would anticipate virtually all adults will be recommended to receive this new updated vaccine once it becomes available this fall.
Russia and Ukraine have each accused the other of shelling a prison in the eastern part of the country that is said to hold dozens of Ukrainian prisoners of war. CBS's Cammie McCormick says it's believed more than 50 people were killed.
Russia says Ukraine's military used U.S.-supplied rocket launchers to strike the prison in the separatist east. Ukraine denies that, and its foreign minister says it's another war crime by Russia. Ukraine accuses Moscow of shelling the alleged torture and execution of Ukrainians there.
Russia's foreign minister says he's open to a call with Secretary of State Blinken to discuss a possible prisoner swap. The U.S. says an offer was made weeks ago. New numbers from the government include a 6.8% jump in a key inflation gauge in June from a year ago, largest increase in 4 decades. CBS's Jill Schlesinger says other indicators are out too.
Incomes were up as expected by 0.6% in June, and spending was up by 1.1%. Many Americans have been forced to dip into their excess savings that they accumulated amid the pandemic to contend with higher prices.
The largest jackpot in U.S. history is up for grabs in tonight's Mega Millions lottery drawing, $1.1 billion.
I donate to different organizations. Move out the country, first thing I do is probably get one of them Lamborghinis.
We're checking Wall Street right now. The Dow is up 92 points, and the NASDAQ is up 130. This is CBS News.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Visit libertymutual.com to learn more.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
At the United States Postal Service, we deliver with advanced technology and equipment so we can reach over 160 million addresses across the country. We're delivering for thinkers, doers, movers, shakers, makers, innovators, trailblazers, disruptors, streamers, dreamers. So no matter what business you're in, we'll always be delivering for you. USPS, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/delivering.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
I studied Spanish in college and never got fluent. But then I tried Babbel.
Want the most effective way to learn another language? In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons will have you learning another language in as little as 3 weeks.
Babbel is all conversation-based, so it gets you speaking quickly about things you actually talk about in the real world.
You'll really see a difference in how conversational you can be in just a few weeks.
Babbel isn't just lessons. You can listen to podcasts, play games, watch videos. You can even take live online classes with a language teacher. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel.
University studies 15 hours is equivalent to a semester of college Spanish. If you want to learn a new language, there's no better way than Babbel. Text radio to 64,000 to try Babbel for free. That's radio to 64,000. RADIO to 64,000.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
69 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ian Williams. Next Tuesday, Saginaw County residents will be asked to approve the MSU extension and 4-H millage. The .1 mil request will provide $546,000 in the first year to continue funding for MSU extension educational programming and services in the county. The millage request will also be on the ballot in Genesee, Tuscola, Shiawassee, Gratiot, Montcalm, Osceola, and funds raised through each millage proposal enable MSU extension to continue work throughout the county in the areas of 4-H youth development, nutrition education, agriculture, community development, and more. The Michigan League for Public Policy has released this year's Kids Count data profiles, which measure issues relating to the well-being of children in Michigan. Over the last decade, the report shows an improvement in several areas, including a decline in child poverty, fewer teen births, and fewer children placed in out-of-home care. The state did not fare so well in the other areas. Prenatal care declined, and preschool enrollment hasn't changed significantly in 10 years. This year's data and more can be found at mlpp.org. Human trafficking is a global problem which can affect members of any socioeconomic background, and it happens right here in Michigan. In 2018, the FBI ranked Michigan 10th in the nation for human trafficking. This Saturday is recognized as the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons to raise awareness of the problem. State Representative Annette Glenn says changes in laws in the state have helped combat the crime.
We've made some progress in recent years, but there's still a lot of work to do. And this International Day dedicated to raising awareness is a good.
If you think someone you know might be a victim of trafficking, call the National Trafficking Hotline, 1-888-373-7888. WSGW News Time is 11:07.
Did it go okay when your insurance agent sat down with you to review the coverage checklist for your farm so you wouldn't have to worry about uncovered areas? You have reviewed your coverages lately, right? If not, maybe your agency should be the Emil Rummel Agency. At the Emil Rummel Agency, it's our job to understand the various risks you face every day on your farm, and then provide you with the right that is based on your needs. If your current insurance agent is not offering this kind of service, it's time you talked with the Emil Rummel Agency, because we listen and then we respond to what we hear. The Emil Rummel Agency is located in Frankenmuth, Vassar, Cairo, and in Saginaw. Call us today at 800-572-0939. That's 800-572-0939. Or visit us on the web at rummelinsurance.com.
WSGW News Time is 11:08. The Marshall Frederick Sculpture Museum is partnering with Creative 360 to celebrate in Midland. A dedication is scheduled for Wednesday, August 10th from 6 to 7:30 at the Creative 360 Studio and Galleries in Midland. The sculpture by Midland-based artist Annie Stout is part of the NEA Big Read Great Lakes Bay Region Initiative and will be permanently installed at Creative 360. The public art installment is part of a 10-month-long initiative centered on the book The House on Mango Street by Hispanic author Sandra Cisneros. For the Midland piece, Stout created a steel house frame that has 2 open ends for visitors to walk through and 2 sides and a roof where keys can be hung. She said the house represents the community, represent individuals with open hearts, minds, and doors. The UAW's motto may be Solidarity Forever, but their recently completed convention shows the strain of some divisions within the union. Jeff Gilbert reports.
Take President Ray Curry's planned State of the Union speech. It was supposed to end day 1. Well, extended debate pushed it back to day 2, day 3, day 4, and finally to sometime in the future. On the final day, some delegates were showing frustration.
Please let's not turn today into a circus, because we will have ruined the good things that we've done for the last
Workers saying the union has been able to get its ethical house in order, but others say there's still work to be done. Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News Network.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer hits the road to talk about road construction projects going on across the state. The governor toured road repair projects underway in Macomb County, north of Detroit, on Thursday.
By the end of this year, we will have rebuilt 16,000 lane miles, 1,200 bridges. That's great. There's a lot more work to do. You don't undo decades of underinvestment in 3.5 years, but we really are leading the nation when it comes to rebuilding our infrastructure across the country.
The governor says the road work is part of the $3.5 billion Rebuilding Michigan plan. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom, 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Blend of clouds and sunshine develops here for today. We'll see a high in the low 80s. Winds out of the west around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. And then for tonight, mostly clear, a low near 57. Saturday, sunshine, high of 84 degrees. Then by Sunday, plenty of blue skies and sun with a Monday, a chance for rain showers here late. We'll see increasing clouds, high of 88 degrees. Then by Tuesday, mostly sunny sky conditions and a high around 83. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast.
Currently, it's 71.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. WSGW.com.
And a very pleasant good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW, brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. You can find out about RoofMax online at getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. RoofMax with 2 X's. Today, we're going to learn about Members First Credit Union and their community involvement. We're going to do that with their community relations manager at Member First Credit Union. She's a graduate of Saginaw Valley State University with a bachelor's in political science and has a graduate degree in public administration. We say good morning to Kristen Williamson. Kristen, good morning.
Hi, Art. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Thanks for being with us this morning. So,
thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Let's start, I think, before we get into some of the nitty-gritty of community involvement, let's talk about Member First Credit Union as an overview. How old is this organization and what's it all about?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are Members First Credit Union. We're headquartered in Midland, but we have 11 branches that span over Midland, Mount Pleasant, our mid-Michigan areas, and then we also have 3 branches in Grand Rapids. We've been a credit union since 1936, so we recently have celebrated our 85th birthday. And we are really excited to keep ramping up our efforts in our communities. Our mission is encouraging a better tomorrow, and we serve all of Michigan. So if you are a resident of Michigan, whether it's the Lower Peninsula, we are able to serve everybody in Michigan now.
Unlike old days, too, credit unions, the membership requirements have changed, haven't they?
Yes.
Don't have to be an
exactly
infinity
right.
group to be a part of the member of the credit union.
Exactly. Yeah, we call those segments in the credit union world. And luckily, most credit unions have been able to kind of open up their membership to serve more than just those smaller segments, so they've been able to grow. We started as a school employees credit union.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about becoming a community development financial institution. What is it? How does it set you apart?
Sure. So this happened just a short couple of years ago for us, that we became aware of this concept of a community development financial institution, which is run through the federal government, through the United States Treasury. And we became aware that their mission really aligned with what we were already doing at our credit union. So their main goal is to open up access of financial services to people who traditionally might not live in an area that has a lot of financial institutions, or perhaps they new home buyers. Their goal is to make sure that everybody in our country has equal access to financial services and financial education.
We would typically call them underserved, right?
Absolutely, that's right. You know everything already, Art.
Not quite. I pay attention as I listen. Go
I love it. That is perfect. Yeah, so when we started learning about this process, we realized that we would, if we became certified as a CDFI, is what they're kind of more commonly known as, it would open up a world of grants to us, that we would be eligible to apply for grants from the United States Treasury in order to continue our mission of serving our members, lending deeper to people who maybe thought they would never be able or have an opportunity to, say, own a home with a mortgage or get that auto loan. We were able to apply. We became certified in January of 2021.
So not every credit union is one of these institutions. Is that correct? You have to physically apply for it?
You do, yeah. And it's actually open to banks, credit unions, and other institutions who are able to give out loans to people. There are only about 26 credit unions in Michigan who are CDFI certified.
All right, hang on. I got to take a break, Kristen, and we'll be back and talk more. We're talking to Kristen Williamson. And Kristen is the Community Relations Manager at Members First Credit Union. More ahead, we'll also hear from Terry Henney when we come back.
Farming is more than a livelihood. It's a legacy. Simplot was founded by a hardworking farmer like you over 90 years ago, and we've been growing America's farms for generations. With local crop advisors grounded in your success, Simplot Grower Solutions is in your fields and by your side. We dig in deep to pinpoint what you need, where you need it, when you need it, even when the forecast is unpredictable. Find your local crop advisor at simplotgrowersolutions.com.
In this election, look to the name you can trust for state representative, Bill G. Schuette. Working as a Defense Intelligence Agency officer, Bill G. Schuette joined the fight against terrorist and drug cartels. Now Bill G. Schuette is prepared to move mid-Michigan forward. He will fight Biden inflation and put money back in your wallet by cutting the income tax. Schuette backs the blue and will support our law enforcement. Schuette will fight to ensure parents have a seat at the table in their children's education. Voting should be honest and easy, which is why Bill G. Schuette supports common sense photo ID requirements for elections. On August 2nd, vote for the conservative Republican you can trust, Bill G. Schuette.
I'm Bill G. Schuette, and this ad was paid for by Bill G. Schuette for state representative. I've briefed generals. I can stand up to Democrats in Lansing.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar. Made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan Silver Dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan Silver Dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 1-800-222 800-222-3807. And you are guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-222-3807. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-222 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-222-3807.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit inspiresleep.com to learn more.
Broadcasting this morning from the festival grounds here in downtown Munger. The 67th annual Munger Potato Festival is in day number 2. Lots of activities going on today that we've mentioned before. Saturday is going to be a busy, busy day. Lots of live entertainment. Rebel Line and the Sinclairs are going to be performing on Saturday night. That's always a good night for the entertainment here at the Potato Festival, and they're not turning anything down as far as they're revving it up. This is going to be a big night here at the festival. Of course, tonight is no slouch band. They're going to be performing starting about 9:30 tonight, just after the demo derbies go. And then on Sunday, don't forget the big parade. That starts at 1. And we're promising a nice sunny day on Sunday. It'll be definitely a whole lot better than what it was last year. Chicken barbecue at 11 in the food tent area, sponsored this year by the Bay City Central Athletic Group. And, of course, Kowalski Brothers will be performing in the entertainment tent where we are located on Sunday afternoon starting at 1. All of that going on, plus plenty of free potatoes at the 60 Potato Festival. A lot more coming up in the Farm Show, which is just down the road.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show,
I guess we'll try to make sense of it all.
That is a very, very difficult job. We will have fun.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. Thank you for being with 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. In the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
Hi, back with you on Focus. We're talking to Christian Williamson. She is the Community Relations Manager for Members First Credit Union. Been talking about the CDFI, the Community Development Financial Institution aspects of their operation and the importance of serving the underserved. But I want to digress just a moment, Christian, because I don't want to leave people with the notion that you only serve the underserved.
That's correct. That's correct, Art. Yes, we have a membership that we can serve anybody in Michigan. Yes, whether it be you live in a city, a rural area, wherever.
And you have a whole menu of traditional financial products, I assume.
We do. That's correct. Yep. We have checking, savings, high yields. We have a mortgage department. We have commercial services. So if you own a business, you can have a commercial account. We also even have investment services that is serviced by a company who is able to work on wealth development and retirement savings for our members.
Has the recent rate increases by the Fed affected the CD rates that are offered?
Yes, that is a little bit of a work in progress at our credit union. So we're working on some different programs that will be able to assist our members because, of course, when loan rates go up, that also means that savings rates go up. So there is an upside to that. Yeah, we're working on some products that will help our members with their savings and those interest rates.
And it works both ways. You're right. One goes up, the other does too. Let's talk for a minute about the advantages of a credit union.
Sure. Absolutely. So credit profit institutions, and that means that we don't have shareholders. So we are not a publicly traded company. We are owned by our members. So if you become a member at a credit union, you thereby become a partial owner. So that means that we are able to, of course, have lower fees, better rates on loans and savings accounts. You're also able to vote for our voluntary board of directors, which means that you have more of a say in your financial institution. So our bottom line is always helping and also seeing our communities thrive. We have a commitment to people helping people, which means that we are dedicated to those local communities that we live and serve in.
Let's finish up by talking about where people can go for information, whether they're underserved or not underserved. Is there a website? Let's start there.
Of course, yes. So our website is www.mfcu.net. So that's Members First Credit Union, MFCU.
.net. All right. And you said how many branches in the region?
We have 11 branches total. We have 2 in Midland, 2 in Mount Pleasant, 3 in Grand Rapids, and then we have a Clare, Gladwin, Harrison, and Everett branches, so in our mid-Michigan area.
And they're all listed on the website, I would assume?
Yes, absolutely. We also have services. We have online banking, and then you can apply for membership online. You can apply for loans online.
Excellent. Well, Kristen, listen, I want to thank you for taking some time this morning to chat with us about Members First Credit Union and
Sure.
more importantly, about the Community Development Financial Institution moniker. We appreciate it. Thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. We'll do it again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. And we will take our last break, come back and close out and move over to Baird & Company for our ticker tip of the day.
Hi, my name is Dennis Poyer, and I am running for Bay County Commissioner in the 7th District. Inflation and soaring gas prices have led to new challenges for many families and small businesses who pulled up their bootstraps and braved the pandemic economy. Our community needs